We are the five.
Today we're going to introduce evenessess, which is our eco-friendly structure.
The inspiration for the design of our building comes from a structure in Beijing called Sunrise Hemisphere Hotel. The building we have in mind was a sphere with two rectangular buildings on two sides. The material we have chosen for our building are glass and solar cells. We select them because they are sustainable, recyclable, and energy efficient. Not only that, these materials do not harm the environment as much as concrete. The goal of our team is to use less material to prevent waste, but at the same time build a strong structure.
From our research, we learned that eco-friendly structure is a structure that is efficient and does not harm our environment. The materials we use for our structure are materials that produce less pollution to our environment. Eco-friendly or even ecological are also positive to our environment and resources effective. These are our resources. We divided the structure into building A and B. A contains 13 layers, a semicircle and two cylinders. B contains a sphere, a platform, a cylinder that holds up the platform, and the other parts of the structure is the water fountain and the bridge that connects the two buildings. These are the equations for our building. These are the surface area of structure A, which is on the left-hand side as facing the water fountain, the midpoint. These are the surface area of the water fountain. These are the surface areas including the sphere, platform, and the cylinder holding the platform, and the bridge connecting to the two buildings. These are the volume for structure A, and these are the volumes for the sphere, the platform, the bridge, and the semicircle on top of structure A. And this is the distance formula, which calculates the shortest and the furthest distance between the two structures. Now we're going to explain the math. We separated our building into building A and building B. For building A, the first layer A, it has a length of 28, height of 14, and a width of 8. The volume is 28 times 14 times 8 equals to 3,136. For the surface area, 28 times 8 times 2 equals to 448. For layer B and C, they have the same volume. The length for both of them are 30, the height for them are 18 and 10 for the width. The surface area equation for layer B is 30 times 10 times 2 equals to 600. Layer C is 18 times 10 times 2 equals to 360. And for part D, the semicircle on top of layer A, we first use the Pythagorean theorem to get the length. The equation is 6 squared plus 8 squared equals to x squared. So 36 plus 64 is 100, which makes times 10.3. The radius of the semicircle is 6, so the volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi 8 to the power of 3 equals to 2,048 pi over 3. The surface area is 4 pi radius squared to over 2 equal to 2 pi radius square equals to 2 pi 8 square, with the answer of 128 pi.
The shape of G is also a rectangle, so we are going to multiply the length, width, and the height, which is 14 times 18 times 14. And the answer is 3,528. The surface area. Surface area is to add all the faces of the layer together, which is 1 times 14 times 18 equals 252. 1 times 14 times 18 equals to 252. The third one is 2 times 14 times 14 equals to 392. We need to add all of the surface together. 252 times plus 252 plus 392. So the answer is 896. Layer H is also a rectangle. So we need to multiply 16, 18, and 16, which is the length, width, and the height. And the answer is 4,608. Its surface area is 16 times 16 times 2 equals to 512, the two sides. And the next one is 16 times 18 times 1 equals to 288, which is the top. And the last one is 1 times 2 times 18 equals to 36, and it's the bottom. After adding the surface, we need to add them all together. And the equation is 512, 288, 36, and the answer is 836 square meters. E is a small rectangle. We need to multiply the width, length, and the height, which is 12 times 18 times 20. So the answer is 4,320. The surface area is adding all the area of the shape together. Layer E is a rectangle, so 2 times 12 times 20 equals to 480. 1 times 20 times 18 equals to 360, which is 480 plus 360, and the answer is 840.
Layer I is a square. It has the length of 18, height of 20, and the width of 15. So the volume is 18 times 20 and 18 and equal 6,480. And the surface area is 2 times 20 times 18 and equal 720. And 2 times 18 times 18 and equal 648. And we need to add 720 and 648 together, and it will equal 13,682. Layer K is a rectangle. It has a length of 18, height of 14, and a width of 16. So the volume is 18 times 14 times 16, and it will equal 4,032. And the surface area is 2 times 14 times 16, and it will equal 448. And 2 times 18 times 16, and it will equal 576. And we need to add them all together, and it will equal 1,024. Layer L is also a rectangle too. It has a length of 22, height of 10, and a width of 18. So the volume is 22 times 10 times 18, and it will equal 3,960. And the surface area is 2 times 22 times 10, and it will equal 440.
Layer M is a rectangular prism that is 13 meters long, 18 meters wide, and 60 meters high. To get the volume of the rectangular prism, just multiply the length, the width, and the height. So 30 times 18 times 16 equal to 3,744 m3. To find the surface area of layer M, you need to get the area of the four sides and add them together. The area of the front face is 30 times 16 equal to 480 m2. The area of the left face is 18 times 16 equal to 288 m2. Then I multiply 480 by 2 because the back has the same area as the front. And I multiply 288 by 2 because the left has the same area as the right. So 480 times 2 plus 288 times 2 will equal to 1,536 m2. So this is the surface area of layer M. It is made out of 3 cylinders that is 4 meter height. The biggest cylinder is at the bottom and has a radius of 8. The middle size cylinder is above the biggest one and has radius of 6. The smallest cylinder is above the middle size one and has a radius of 4. To get the volume of the cylinder, use this equation. Pi r squared times height. Because our fountain has 3 cylinders, so we need to solve the volume of each cylinder before adding them together. The biggest cylinder is 8 times 8 times pi and then times 4 equal to 256 m3. The middle size cylinder is 6 times 6 times pi times 4 equal to 114 meter 3. And the smallest cylinder is 4 times 4 times pi times 4 equal to 64 m3. So the volume is 64 plus 256 plus 114 and then equal to 464 m3. To solve for the surface area, we use the equation of 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. The biggest cylinder is 80 pi, and the middle size cylinder is 60 pi, and the smaller cylinder is 40 pi. So the surface area will equal to 180 pi. The E is above the smaller cylinder and is made up of 5 rectangular prisms. There are 3 big congruent rectangle prisms with 2 small congruent rectangular prisms between 2 from the letter E. To get the volume, first compute the volume of one of the big rectangular prism, then multiply it by 3. So it will be 3 times 2 times 1 times 3 equal to 18 m3. Next, solve the volume of the small rectangle and multiply it by 2. So it will be 1.5 times 2 times y, and then times it all together by 2. It will equal to 6 m3. After that, add 18 to 6 to get 24 m3, which is the total volume of the E. To get the surface area of fountain E, I labeled the rectangular prism from top to bottom with number 1 to 5. 1 and 5 have the same surface area, so I will do 3 times 2 plus 2 times 1 times 2 plus 3 times 1 times 2 plus 1.5 times 2, and then plus it all together, then times 2 will give you 6 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4, and then times 2 all together, and then you will get 38 m2. 2 and 4 have the same surface area, so I will do 1.5 times 1 times 2 plus 2 times 1 times 2, and then added together will be 4 plus 3, and then you times 2 all together, it will be 14m2. 3 has the surface area of 2 times 1.5 times 2 plus 2 times 1 times 2 plus 2 times 3 times 1 will equal to 6 plus 4 plus 6, which equals to 16m2. After that, add 38, 14, and 16 to get the total surface area, which is 58m2.
There is a total of 3 cylinders in the whole structure. The first 2 is in structure A and is known as J. And the formula for a cylinder's volume is pi r squared h, which in this case the equation is 4 times pi times 116, and the answer is 3,721 pi cubic meters. And the other cylinder's volume equation is pi times 14 squared times 20, and the answer is 3,920 pi cubic meters. And the equation and the formula for a cylinder's surface area is 2 pi r plus 2 pi r h. The radius of J is 4 and the height is 116. And so the equation would be 2 pi times 4 times 116 equals 968 pi times 2, since there's 2 cylinders in the building as a pole. And the answer is 1,856 pi square meters. And the radius of the other cylinder is 14, and 20 is the height of the cylinder, which makes the equation 2 pi times 14 times 20, and the answer is 560 pi square meters. And this is the sphere of structure B. The formula for the volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 times pi times r to the third power, which gives us 3,200 over 3 as a solution. And the formula to calculate a sphere's surface area is 4 pi r squared. And the radius for this sphere is 20, which makes the equation 4 pi times 20 squared, which gives us an answer of 20,096 square meters. And we have both the shortest and furthest distance calculated. We first made the whole structure in quadrant 1 as if it was a coordinate plane. So this would be the x-axis and this would be the y-axis. And the distance between 2 numbers is about 4 squares on the sketch paper. So this 0 to 1, in between it's about 4 squares separated from each other. And the distance formula is b equals the square root of x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. And for the shortest distance of the structure is just a distance between the 2 buildings. So it's from this point to this point, this distance between each other. And the equation is the square root of 14 minus 10 squared plus 2 minus 2 squared equals the square root of 4 squared plus 0 squared, and the answer is 60 squared, which is 4 meters. So it's 4 meters between here. And the furthest distance is just this point till this point, the whole distance. And the equation is the square root of 60 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus 2 squared equals the square root of 16 squared plus 0 squared, and the answer is the square root of 2,056, which is 16 meters. From our research, we learned that eco-friendly structure is a structure that is efficient and does not harm our environment. The materials we use for our structure are materials that produce less pollution to our environment. Eco-friendly or even ecological are also positive to our environment and resources effective. These are our resources.